You can do it. Good job. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this video. So, remember the last time I did a Scooby movie review? I promise you I will not take as long to get that one made as I have for this one. I promise you I will not take as long to get that one made as I have for this one. Yeah. Apparently I'm not good at promises. But we're finally doing the next one. Okay, so today I'll be doing my review for Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. So, if you are new to my Scooby movie reviews, let me run down how I review these. So, I have my notes. That's why I'm using my phone. I'm using my phone for notes, just so you're aware. So, if there's any backstory to the film, I'll let you guys know, talk about that. Then we'll talk about the plot of the film, obviously. Then we will discuss the voice actors, who's playing different characters, who's playing the game, who's playing the supporting characters, and the characters themselves. Then we talk about the setting of each film, the music and the score for the film, and then the animation and art style for each film, and then the villains of the film, villain or villains of the film. Then we will talk about the DVD covers, you know, the art on the DVD cover, and the trailers for each film, and then I'll give my verdict. So, now that you know what to expect, here we go. We're gonna start this with Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Okay, so I don't really have any backstory to this film. This is still part of the quote-unquote original 4 Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies. So, it's still within that kind of realm. Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, you know, and now we have the Cyber Chase. So, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Let's talk about the plot. Also, look at my socks. I don't know if you can see them, but I got Scooby socks. It says munchies and Scooby's eating. I don't know how to show you because I'm not flexible. Okay, so in this film, we start out what kind of looks like a laboratory type thing, and we follow this older man as he's kind of walking through these different rooms and buildings. And anyways, we learn that he's a professor at this college, and he's teaching, well, he's helping 2 students program their own software, their own games, and whatever else. Anyways, so while they're doing late night testing and editing and whatever else, this thing basically comes like out of the computer. He's like this blue electric looking like being, and he like sucks all the coding from computers, and he can manipulate electronics and whatever. He makes this old telephone, the ones on the cord still, attack one of the guys, one of the students, and anyways, so that's kind of the cold opening. So then we get the gang, they go to the school, they learn that this phantom virus, they're calling it, has come out of the computer and is attacking one of their friends, actually, who is one of the students. So the gang are going to the college because one of their friends from high school is attending this college, designing software and games and whatever else, and he's making a video game based on the gang. So he's basically taken into account the gang's adventures and different mysteries and whatever, and is making it into his own video game. So they're gonna go and see the video game, go and try to play it and whatever, but then they learn that there's this phantom virus, and the professor basically says no one is allowed to play the game until this dealio is fixed. So we're then introduced to this laser beam, basically, that they invented, where you can transport basically physical objects into a digital world. It's almost like a 3D scanner type thing, except it like sucks the actual object out of the world and puts it into the digital world, and then you can take anything from the digital world and put it into the physical world. It's very, very out there type of machine. So anyways, then we get our first run-in with the Phantom Virus with the gang, and they split up around the campus, try to find this Phantom Virus. They're chasing them around. They have these giant magnets because magnets obviously interfere with the Phantom Virus because he's made of coding and, you know, computer software type things. So anyway, so they're chasing him, and then someone clicks the beam, the machine thing that like transports stuff into the computer world, and transports the entire gang into the computer. And suddenly they are in Eric's video game. Eric is the gang's friend that made the game. So now what they have to do is play through the entire game. There are 10 levels, and the objective of the game is to find the box of Scooby Snacks in each level. So they have to play through each level to get out, basically. So we kind of get different montages of the different levels. The first level is on the moon that we see, and there's different like objects, like vehicle objects for each level that are like painted the Mystery Machine. Like the moon level, there's like a moon rover and it's painted the Mystery Machine style. And then the second level is in the Coliseum, an old ancient Coliseum, and there's one of those like chariot things that you pull people in and whatever, and it's painted like the Mystery Machine. And anyways, so we really only see like the first level and the second level, and then it kind of does a montage. Well, we see the third level too, which was like a prehistoric level, so they are dealing with dinosaurs, and also in each level the Phantom Virus has like henchmen basically for each level. So like in the prehistoric level he has this T-Rex he's riding, and in the Coliseum he has like this army of skeletons, like skeleton gladiators, and he has a lion that he pulls out eventually. So, but then we get this kind of montage where they're going through the different levels. We just kind of see little bits and pieces of these levels until they finally get to the final level. But they don't think it's the final level. They think, oh, we did it, we're home, we're back, you know, because the final level looks like just a town, a city. So they think, oh, we're here, we did it. So, you know, they're kind of walking around, playing around. You know, they're like, let's go celebrate and whatever. So they go to the malt shop and they run in to themselves. So this is where it actually like kind of starts to get like, what the heck is happening? So they run into themselves, but it's their cyber selves. So it's the video game characters of themselves. So each of the cyber characters each look different from their actual selves. The cyber gang look more like the Scooby-Doo Where Are You designs and clothes and attire. So Fred is in his like orange ascot, his white shirt, blue collar. Daphne is in her purple dress, you know, tights and whatever. Velma just has kind of a different coloring to her sweater, like it's a different type of orange. She's probably the one that doesn't look the most changed. Looks the least amount changed. And then for Shaggy, what they did is put his red shirt on for the cyber Shaggy, and then for Scooby to change him up, they gave him a red collar and kind of made his coloring a bit darker. So anyways, they run into themselves, they're having some fun, and then they're like, okay, well, can you help us finish? And the cyber gang basically is like, why we've never had the desire to grab the box of Scooby Snacks, because for us, once we do, we just go right back to the beginning of the game and have to do it all over again. And so they're like, but we'll help you get the Scooby Snacks and you grab it and it's all yours. So they go to this amusement park, kind of just across the bend, you know, it's over on the beach type thing, beach pier, and they find it in the arcade. They find the box of Scooby snacks in the arcade, on an arcade that's the Scooby-Doo video game. How ironic. So they're trying to get it, but all of a sudden the Phantom Virus shows up, obviously, and he brings in some old villains. So we saw the Jaguaro from the Scooby-Doo show, the Creeper from Scooby-Doo Where Are You? There's the Gator Ghoul from the Scooby-Doo show, and Old Iron Face from the Scooby-Doo show, and the Tar Monster from the Scooby-Doo show. So most of them are from the Scooby-Doo show. There's only one that's from Scooby-Doo Where Are You? So it was really cool to see these classic villains all of a sudden come back, even though they are like a cyber version of the villains, you know. But this time that means they're quote-unquote real, at least to them. So they all kind of split up and everyone gets their own villain, and they kind of go through their own shenanigans, doing their own things, trying to escape. You know, so every pair, there's the 2 Freds, there's the 2 Daphnes, the 2 Velmas, 2 Shaggys, 2 Scoobies. They all kind of pair with themselves and then just run away and whatever. So then they all get back together, back to the arcade, and it's kind of like the ultimate showdown, trying to get the box of Scooby snacks while trying to avoid the Phantom Virus. But the cyber gang can't totally help them because they learn they brought one of the big magnets. Shaggy had one of the big magnets in his pockets, and they learned that the magnets interfere with the cyber gang as well, you know, because they were made of code and software and whatever. So they couldn't exactly go into the arcade and help them, but so there's this whole showdown. Anyways, they get the box of Scooby snacks, and that defeats the Phantom Virus for whatever reason, and then, you know, they say their goodbyes. They're like, dang it, that was so cool to be with ourselves. And then they get out of the video game, and then we learn who does it, who made the Phantom Virus. So the Phantom Virus was an actual monster. He was not someone in a costume. He was made by someone. So I'm not going to say who yet, but if you've seen this movie, that's one of my complaints, is it's so obvious who it is. Anyway. Oh! Ah! My phone's updating! What? No, I need you for notes. No. Help. Help. Crapperdoodle. Okay, so since my phone decided it's time to do an update, I got my baby phone, my old phone, my little baby phone has my notes. Okay, so here we go again. So we're going to talk about the voice actors and the characters. So in this film we have Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne, Fred, Velma, you know, we have the gang. Then we have a character called Officer Wimbley. So we meet him when the gang are going to the college. They're trying to figure out where they need to go. And the officer's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, no trespassing, blah, blah, blah. Which, I kind of feel like anyone can walk on a college campus, you know? Like, sure, you can't really go into a class, just, you know, whatever. But, like, I feel like you can walk on a college campus without a permit or something, you know? I don't know. It was kind of weird. And then we have Eric Stoffer? So this is the gang's friend from high school. They're the whole reason they're coming to the college to visit him. And then we have Professor Robert Kaufman. So obviously he's the professor. He's the one helping the students. One being Eric, the other being Bill McLemore. Anyway, Bill is the other student who's making a video game about baseball because he loves baseball. And then we have the Phantom Virus. And then we have, you know, side characters and whatever else. So, Scooby and Shaggy are voiced by Scott Ines. Again, he's been doing it from Witch's Ghost up to now. And then Daphne actually is Grey Delisle. whose now name is Grey Griffin, but she voices Daphne now today. She has been pretty much ever since Cyber Chase. There are a few movies coming up that she didn't voice Daphne. She doesn't permanently take Daphne's spots until Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster, at least in the movie format. She takes over in What's New Scooby-Doo, but this was her first time ever playing Daphne. So Mary Kay Bergman, who had been voicing Daphne in the previous movies, had passed away by this time. So yeah, so now it's Grey Delisle. Then Fred is Frank Welker because he's immortal and never dies. Velma is BJ Ward still. She's been doing Velma since Zombie Island. And then Officer Wembley is played by Joe Alaskey. Yeah, I think it's Alaskey. Eric is played by Bob Bergen. And then Professor Robert is Tom Kane. And we have Bill, who's played by Mikey Kelly. Mikey Kelly, that's an interesting name. And the Phantom Virus is played by Gary Sturgis. Gary Sturgis. Okay. So, now, we're going to go on to the setting. So, obviously the setting for this film is a college campus, mainly in a computer lab setting. We do see a cafeteria at one point. We see kind of a psychology room at one point while Shaggy and Scooby are doing shenanigans with the Phantom Virus and whatever. But the majority of the film is taking place in this fictionist video game that Eric has made. So, and yeah, again, it's a video game that's not really even a video game to begin with. So, just a complete new setting for this movie. So, yeah, so most of the game, so the video game was kind of loosely based on the gang's adventures, obviously put out to an extreme level at some points, because it is a video game and you could do whatever you wanted. Oh look, my phone's done. Maybe we'll move back to this one so I can see. I need big screen. Okay, there we go. Got my big boy back. Okay, so the music and score for this one. So they do have the Scooby-Doo or Are You theme once again. This time it is performed by Cindy Wilson, Kate Pearson, and Fred Schneider, which are of the band B-52s. So.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo,
where are you?
We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you. Pretend we got a silver. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery to solve, but Scooby-Dooby, rip on your hat. Don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, if you come through, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's the fact. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, here are you. It's ready and you're willing. If we can count on you, Scooby-Doo, I know we'll catch that villain.
Then we actually have a song called Hello Cyber Dream, performed by David Nickel. I think that's how you say it, David Nickel.
Here he comes, the big shark sees us in
And then we have another just instrumental song, Double Double Joint, which was performed by Richard Lawrence Wolfe, and again, it's just an instrumental song. So, yeah, we have 3 songs in total for this film. The Hello Cyber Dream song is kind of just a fun song. It's played during the montage when they're going through the different levels of the video game. And then Double Double Joint is played during another little montage while the gang are all separated with their pairs and running off with the monsters. So they are kind of like chase songs, so to speak. Okay, the animation and art style for this film, it is still done by Mook Animation, who's done Zombie Island, which is Ghost, Alien Invaders. But this time it is not done hand-painted or anything. This time it is full-on digital. They have done away with hand-drawn, hand-painted. It is full-on digital, which sadly kind of makes it not as dynamic, not as dramatic, I feel like, the animation. So this film actually doesn't have like the dark shading that the previous films have had, and so overall this film doesn't have as dark of a feeling as the previous films. It's definitely a lighter toned film in animation and in story, I feel like. So overall this one is lighter than the previous 3, but it is still done by Mook Animation. Okay, now let's talk about the villains here. So, the Phantom Virus obviously is the big one. He's the villain of the film, basically. So, he has some henchmen. He has moon ghosts on the moon level. He has a T-Rex in the prehistoric level. He has a lion and skeleton gladiators in the Colosseum level. He has a dragon at one point. During the montage of the levels, he has a samurai fighting Daphne at one point during one of the levels. And then there's also Old Iron Face, Jaguaro, Creeper, Gator Ghoul, and Tar Monster, like I said. And those are for the final level. So the Phantom Virus was actually created by Bill, the other student, because he wanted the prize for himself. He thought the professor was more interested in Eric's project, more interested in, you know, the Scooby video game and everything, and he thought he wasn't getting enough credit for what he was doing, so he basically was trying to sabotage the whole thing quite to the extreme, making a monster out of code. So, yeah. So Eric is the one that created the Phantom Virus, and again, as I say, it's super, super obvious. And I will show you why right now, okay? And go!
Our first clue came when we were on the moon level. The Phantom Virus shouted, "Play ball!"
And on the Colosseum level, we found some chalk lines like a large diamond.
But our biggest clue was on the final level.
When the Phantom Virus appeared in a batting cage.
All I'm getting is that the virus had a thing for baseball. Bill!
Okay, I know they had to like somehow do clues to figure out who did it, and I get it's a children's film, but it's too obvious. Too obvious. Too obvious. Okay. So, now let's talk about the DVD cover. So, the DVD cover, I have it right here. So, this is the DVD cover. Obviously, it says Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, kind of in this. I feel like it was trying to be like an atom, which I don't know why they assume atom with like video game. I don't know. Anyway, then we have the Phantom Virus, kind of like trying to attack Scooby and Shaggy, while Scooby and Shaggy are either being like sucked into a computer or trying to jump out of a computer. And then Fred, Daphne, and Velma are like stuck in this barrier thing. And then you can see they're in this like digital world things are kind of still rendering, it looks like. And like they're on a road, which kind of points to the last level of being like a town city. And this also kind of points to the last level because everything had to like render in the last level, as you will see. But I don't know what these buildings are back here. Like, they don't even really look like buildings. It looks kind of like just machinery. So yeah, so that's the DVD cover. The back just has Scooby and Shaggy in different costumes that they were in throughout different levels. And then it has two pictures. One that's supposedly from the movie, but it's honestly not. It's a glorified picture from a picture of the movie. I don't know. It really, I mean, I get what they're trying to show, but that particular picture was never in the movie. Then the Phantom Virus is up here, just chilling. And then the second picture is actually a picture of the menu, for whatever reason, of the DVD menu. So, and then the tagline here says, like Compute Zoinks. Okay, I don't get it, but okay. Okay, so now what we talk about with the DVD cover. Does this make you want to pick it up? If you knew nothing about the film, you didn't see any trailers, does this right here, if you saw this in store, again, had no idea what it was about or heard nothing about it, does this make you want to pick it up? So for me personally, I don't think it's one that I would automatically grab if I didn't know anything about it. Just because I don't have any context to it. I mean, obviously you can tell, like, oh, they're going into a computer, which, yes, is interesting, but it doesn't seem Scooby, you know? Like, it's very far off for Scooby-Doo. But I'll admit, I love the design of the Phantom Virus, so that would catch my eye. Just his presence on the cover would make me kind of be more like, ooh, I want to look more into this. So it's kind of 50-50 for me personally, but let me know what you guys think. Does the DVD cover make you guys interested in picking this up at all? Okay, so now we're going to talk about the trailer for the film. So let me hurry and play that for you guys now.
Cyberspace.
Cyberspace?
Enter at your own risk as Scooby-Doo and the gang go digital to delete a ghostly phantom virus in deepest cyberspace. It's the all-new movie Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Coming to video fall 2001.
Okay, so this trailer in particular, not much of the actual film is shown, which can be good because I feel like nowadays trailers, like, they call them teaser trailers and they're like 2.5 minutes and basically give away the whole plot, and it's like, oh, a teaser trailer is just supposed to make you like intrigued in it, you know? Like the Frozen 2 trailer that's released, like the teaser trailer, that's a teaser trailer. Doesn't really give us any context about what is going down, but it intrigued us, okay? But like lately all these other teaser trailers, I don't know. Nowadays I feel like teaser trailers are just trailer number 1. So again, it can be a good or a bad thing. They actually pulled in aspects from the Zombie Island film and put it into this trailer, which was kind of weird. It's like, why are you promoting that movie, but you're trying to promote this movie? It was kind of weird. It's almost like they didn't have the animation finished when this trailer came out, and so they were like, don't put anything of the movie in because we don't quite have it ready. So I don't know why they're bringing Zombie Island clips into this trailer. It barely shows any of the Phantom Virus, which again can kind of be a good thing because you're like, oh, who's the villain, like what's going down. We do kind of see him kind of slide through the screen. He's kind of just like a still image, just kind of goes by, but that's about all that we really get. But it is said that they go into Cyber Chase, but they don't specifically say that they're going into a video game, they just say Cyber Chase. So overall, I feel like the trailer really lacked for this one. I know they were trying to be like, ooh, like new Scooby thing, you know, they were just trying to be like, ooh, something big is going down, like something different is gonna happen in this one. And they didn't really want to give stuff away, you know, to keep it a surprise, but I feel like they were too vague in this trailer and didn't really explain anything. Okay, so now let's talk about my final verdict. Okay, so, again, this is the final Scooby-Doo film of the original 4, the final one by Mook Animation, the final one to be part of that saga. So, I am giving this one a 3 out of 5. Let me explain myself now. Let me just say this right now. I love the concept of the movie, that they go into a video game, you know. It's a different Scooby story done right, whereas I feel like Scooby-Doo and Kiss didn't do it right. They went too far. But we'll get into that once we get there. You know, they played with a new concept, you know, giving the gang a whole new situation, and they really played it right. You know, they didn't just like throw them into a video game and it was like, oh, we have to get out like that. I mean, yes, that was the goal, but there also was a mystery trying to be solved while they were trying to get out, you know. So it wasn't just like throwing them into a video game and hoping they get out type of thing. They still incorporated a mystery into the overall plot, so I enjoyed. My biggest thing is the criminal who made the Phantom Virus was just way too obvious for this film, and I know they kind of were making it easy because they were in a video game, and so you were kind of distracted with the adventures that they were going on, so they were making it easy for you to kind of follow the mystery while also just enjoying the adventures that they were going on. But I just feel like the criminal was way too obvious. I do feel like there was kind of some filler towards the middle-endish, like when they were in the level 10, the last level of the game. And I mean, as great as it was to see these old villains come back and kind of chase them around, I feel like a lot of that was a lot of filler, that they were just trying to like lengthen the movie a little bit more before they got the Scooby snacks and got out of the video game. So I don't know, that's just me personally. I feel like there was a little filler in this film. And then lastly, as much as I love the Phantom Virus, I love his design, I feel like he relied too much on like his henchmen and his backup, especially in the video game. Like every level he had some sort of henchman doing work for him, and I just feel like he himself wasn't presenting as big as a threat. You know, I mean, he did on the last level, like in the arcade, he was causing, you know, all these machines to come alive and to, you know, capture the gang and stop them from getting the Scooby snacks. But I feel like that was not present until the very end of the film, right before he basically disintegrated. So I kind of feel like the villain was a little flat that way. Like he, again, relied too much on backup, relied too much on his henchmen. So that's overall why I'm giving this film a 3 out of 5. Again, love the story, love the plot, just feel like the villain overall was just weak. You know, like, again, love the design, love this idea of this Phantom Virus, but again, he was just way too obvious who created him, and he himself, the villain, didn't really do much to get the gang in danger. So, anyways, now some fun facts about this film. This is the earliest Scooby film as of now, you know, to date, that's been re-released on Blu-ray. So you can't get Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, or Alien Invaders on Blu-ray still to this day, but you can get Cyber Chase on Blu-ray. Something else that's interesting, apparently when they were making this film, I guess interest was kind of being lost while they were making it, which I kind of feel that at parts of the movie. At times I feel like they were kind of like, I don't know what we're doing, like let's just move on type of thing. But to keep interest in the filmmakers creating this movie, they talked about the final level making the gang live action, kind of just to change things up and do something kind of wild. So that was the original idea, plot for the final level, is to make the gang live action. But as obviously we see, that didn't end up happening, so instead they made the Cyber Devils. So yeah. So guys, that is my review of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Let me know what you guys think about this film. Do you guys enjoy it? Have you guys seen it? Let me know where it ranks for you guys in the Scooby movies. Again, it's not one of my personal favorites, I'll say, but I do enjoy this one. I feel like so many people like own this one. Like, even if they don't have any other Scooby movie or anything, they either own it or at least have seen this one. Like, I feel like this one and Zombie Island are always the most talked about. If I ever talk to someone who's not like super into Scooby-Doo, but like, you know, knows basic knowledge of Scooby-Doo, they always have seen or at least acknowledge Zombie Island and Cyber Chase. So, anyways guys, again, thank you all for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video, and if you're new here, press that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the future Scooby-Doo movie reviews. I have done reviews for Zombie Island, Witches, Ghosts, and Alien Invaders so far, so if you have not checked those out, go back, check them out. I believe I've made a playlist of them, so you can just watch them back to back. If not, I'm going to do this before this video is out, so it should be a thing by the time you're watching this. Okay? Okay. And let me know, again, what you guys think of this film. Give me your opinions and thoughts. Give me your little review of Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Okay, so the next film that we will be reviewing is... You think I know, but guess what, guys? I don't. So the next film we will be reviewing is Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. So I'm super excited for this one. I think that gives you some hints of what I think of this one. Okay, so I'll catch you all in my next video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye! Say bye. Scooby, say bye. Hey, bye. Oh.